For Victims' Rights Week, I thought I'd share this story with you. Most people know the story of Justine Vanderschoot. We would like to share in brief her life with us as a family and how the loss of her life would impact a community many years later. Justine's birth was March 30th, 1986. It took a whopping hour and a half to come into this world. Born in Napa, California on Easter Sunday, her mother was only 110 pounds at that time. This was important to know as we shed light on her determination throughout the story. When she arrived, her sister Justine was eagerly awaiting her arrival. She was 18 months old. Her grandparents prepared a room downstairs for the new arrival. We were between homes, waiting for builders to complete our new home in Vacaville, California. This is where Justine would make her youthful roots. Soon the potty training took place. At about 20 months old, we would put her on the toilet, only to have her jump down, pull up her pants, and do her best at explaining she'd handle this job on her own. This went on until she went to the restroom on her own. Now that was determination at 20 months. We settled down in a neighborhood filled with young families, new schools, and lots of opportunities. We had an immediate affection for the family across the street. They were a mirror image of us. Two young girls the same age, father that worked every day, and a stay-home mom. As parents, we would socialize at each other's homes, sharing Bay Area stories, rock and roll, along with some good eats. Justine and Jenny, the youngest of Gary and Cheryl, became attached at the hip. You'd never know that they were to become lifelong friends. Wow, the fights that took place for several years. I would have thought they would be rivals forever. Argue over the highest of priorities in life, like who got the front seat or which one of us got the red sucker instead of the blue one. Justine came home in tears more than not. So did poor Jenny. Justine's determination to be number one at everything led to extreme competition. Couldn't believe it. She gathered the boys in the neighborhood and contracted them to a go-kart race. They built their go-kart and the girls built theirs. The boys had a slight advantage. Yeah, they were only 8 years old, but they had a mechanical aptitude that boys have. Determined to win, Justine requested her dad to secure the axles to the hand-built wood machine the girls had mastered. Her father took note of the axles on the boys' machine and noted, "Good job for 8 to 9 years old, but no bearings on the axles." Well, one trip to the hardware store and we'd have wheels with wheel bearings. He attached to the cart, welded anchor points, and the girls were ready to go. The day came, and the boys and the girls made flyers. They passed them out to the neighborhood, informing them all of the big race, and if they could clear the street of any vehicles so there was no interferences. The girls had one more secret weapon up their sleeve, however. Justine's older sister, as a pusher for the cart, she had a bit more horsepower than her rivals at a year older than them. Guess who had to drive? Yeah, you guessed it, Justine. Oh yeah, the losers were to buy ice cream for the entire pit crew on both teams. On your marks, get set, go. From the top of Honey's driveway to the property line at the Vanderschoot's residence, the girls pulled it off by a hair. Justine's determination paid off once again, at least in her mind. We decided to make a move to Auburn, California in September of '96. Dad worked in Sacramento at the time, and Mom ended up working for FedEx. We got to live in a community in the foothills of the Sierra Nevada. Justine remained best friends with Jenny as she visited often. Justine made lots of new friends and always had to be the center of all activities. She wanted to play soccer. At only 85 pounds, she wanted to be the goalie. That was hard to catch. It was hard to watch. She was mowed over by larger players on a regular basis. She wanted to play baseball. She had to be the pitcher. He was a little bit humiliating, at least it was for me. In high school, she wanted to join the cheer squad. Oh yeah, she had to be the flyer. She was a natural at that. Wow, was she determined. While Dad was working in the garage at one point, Justine was riding her bike at the top of the driveway, and she was having trouble doing that while listening to her boombox at the same time. She rode down the driveway and she asked her dad to attach this empty soda flat to the front of her bike so she could put the boombox on the soda flat, ride her bike, and listen to the music all at the same time. I asked her how she was planned on doing that. She showed me some bungee cords and asked me to help her attach the flat to the bike with the bungee cords. Well, I was busy and told her I'd have to help her later. About 20 minutes went by, and I heard the boombox at the top of the driveway. I looked up and saw her riding her bike with a cardboard flat attached to the box. Another determined act by a determined little girl. Now in high school, she needed to be the fashion queen and center of attention. This posed a difficult situation for the school administration and other parents. They felt she was moving just a bit too fast for them. Having that determined personality, Justine decided she was going to graduate from high school in a year and a half. I told her that was a lofty goal. How do you plan on doing that? She stated, I was going to go to an independent study held at another school. I felt this was a bad move. Justine showed us her studies every day and showed me her teacher's response and approval. All was moving forward. Justine never did graduate from high school. This abrupt end to her life and shortened by her jealous boyfriend's actions, she never did get a chance to see graduation. As a family, we were devastated and the community was shocked. We miss our Justine and continued our lives without her.